The Internationality of Rotary is all about engaging our members. Because if someone leaves your club, there's so many other things in Rotary they can do that are exciting that would keep them in Rotary. And then, yes, Lloyd, forming new clubs is a way too. So this is a picture in the Philippines, where Stephanie and I went a few months ago, where they built 250 homes for people who were homeless. You know, that's the kind of thing that we need to tell our people about. And all the things that you guys do in this club with youth exchange and everything else. So now that Brent is done serving his club, no, that's not a clapping moment. There's other things, Brent, you can get involved in. You know, you can get involved in your area. You can get involved in your district. I see Kenny, who is a district governor, and we see Ed, who's a past district governor here. Yeah. So that's something that you can work on. So, and then you have your zone, you have your district, you have your area. But I wanted you to bring up these things because I want you to think about Rotary as larger than just the wonderful club of Northfield. You know, we went recently to Korea, Stephanie and I did, and this man came up to Stephanie, he's an adult male, probably about 45, and he was just sobbing. And he was sobbing because he was so happy to meet Stephanie, the embodiment of all of you as Rotarians, because in Korea, he was living in a home with his mother that was full of mold, the electricity didn't work, and the Rotary Club came in and redid the whole apartment building. And he just wanted to thank Stephanie, which was really thanking all of you for all the things you do for Rotary. So there's international service projects. And I love coming to Northfield because I'm usually handed, and I was again today, a grant proposal, which I'm going to actually take to some friends at RI and take back to my district because you guys are always doing those things. So you know about that. There's also Rotary action groups. You know, this is a picture of some friends of mine, some of my good friends when we went to Honduras for my very first service project. So their action groups are experts in a certain area. So if you're involved in the environment and you have expertise, you can be part of a Rotary action group. There's only 25 of those now, but they range from, you know, Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group, which is formed right next door in Wisconsin. So they have experts who can help you fund projects, help you put together projects, things like that. Now, they don't do projects like your club does because you have to be a club or a district to actually do a project. But we also have something called Rotary Fellowships. They have them for RV enthusiasts. They have them for motorcyclists. They have them for canoers. But they do their own service projects. Like the canoers, they go ahead and they clean up rivers and things like that. There's about 190 of those. Some of them are free. Some of them you have to pay to be a part of. There's one going to the front of the board next month for artificial intelligence. So, yeah, so there's all kinds of ways to get involved in Rotary and be more involved than you are. There's one for pin collectors. There's the scuba divers right there. So they also have Rotary Community Corps. This is when you have non-Rotarians who need to be served and they help do the service themselves. So we brought 5 clubs together in our district to form a Rotary Community Corps for the Afghan community because we saw so many Afghan refugees who were coming in, our new neighbors, and they needed service. And so we work with them, we meet with them every 2 weeks and we ask them, what do you need? And of course they need certain things, but the surprising answer they told us was, we need to learn how to drive. And the driver's manual for the state of Minnesota isn't in Pashtun or Dari. And their Google Translate doesn't do that. So we had one of our club members who worked for a hedge fund translate it for us. And then those people started getting driver's license. They started getting jobs. They started sending that money back home. So they're creating positive peace around the world from their own backyard. So, and that was not a hard thing to do. We just brought people together. Every other week, we would buy pizza for them. Every other week, they would buy usually a chicken, an authentic, one of their home cooked meals that they would cook in Afghanistan. But just a certain way to get involved. And it's interesting because when you do a project like that, people find out about it, and you start having the mayors of the towns come, and you start having people who want to hire people come. So we would fix them up with jobs. So Rotary's reputation in the community goes up, up, and up. But what we found out is some of our members, you know how it is in a club where you start seeing some members kind of drift away. They're kind of tired of doing the same service projects. They want to do something different. When you do something like this, you attract those members that you already have and you retain them and you engage them. So thank you, Tracy, for giving us the opportunity to talk about how you can engage our current members, which is a way to grow Rotary. So just something to think about. Now, I don't have to tell you guys about Rotary Youth Exchange because you are the champions in the whole world. I was so proud to go to Nyan in Vancouver not too long ago and hear the respect they have for Northfield and everything you guys do. And I'll tell you, whenever we host a kid, Vicky and Lee are always at the airport picking somebody up or dropping off. So I won't go into that, but that's just another way to get involved. We have Rotary coordinators who we are in a zone, and our zone is zone 29. And so there's 16 districts in our zone, but you can get involved in doing things. I think, Deborah, you were a zone coordinator for Foundation. She was an assistant for Foundation. So that's another way you can get involved. Would you recommend people doing that? Okay, just a great way to be involved. Peace Fellows. We have 1,800 graduates of our Peace Fellow program. We are forming, we have a new university in Istanbul, and we're going to have a presidential peace conference in February 20th through 22nd, where we're going to invite those 1,800 alumni. They have shorter degree programs and they have master degree programs, but they go serve the world by working in the area of peace. But these are full scholarships that you can have people apply for. Another thing we do. So we have a region, which is basically for our region, we have Region 36, which is Zone 29, which starts up in Canada and goes all the way to Illinois. Then we have 25B, which is Texas, and we're also paired with 25A, which is Central and South America. So if you put all those folks together, there's about 62,000 people. Well, there's certain things that you can do with the zone. They have a council. They have an institute that they have every year. Deborah was co-chair of one of the institutes that we had. We had one in Texas a few years ago. The one in September is coming from Texas. But you can do all kinds of things there, like get trained on how to do the council legislation. Your district governors can go there to get their training, the whole governor line. The other thing you can do, and this happens once every 3 years, is the council legislation. And every district gets to send a member. It's like our parliament to come up with new laws. And if you wanted to be a paid observer, it only costs $60 to go. I did that when I first joined Rotary to find out what it's all about. But there's all these interesting things going on. And, when you go to these places, you meet people from all around the world and you see how they do things. And you get great ideas that you can bring back to Northfield. There's Rotary committees. There's there's a finance committee, there's a membership committee, there's a public image committee, there's an audit committee. There's about 60 different committees. And if you look at this month's Rotary magazine, it shows how you can apply for these committees. So you could be a part of a committee that actually makes recommendation to our board of directors and our president to pass. So that's another way you can get involved. And it's pretty fun to do. Then they have a program called President's Representatives, where the president, there'll be 400 conferences of our 536 districts approximately every year that has a district conference. And the president, she's only one person, so she can't make it to every district conference. So she sends representatives. So if you would like to be a representative, come see me. We can actually get your name on a list and you could travel somewhere in the world to represent President Stephanie. And it's just a great way to meet people and a great way to learn about Rotary. And there's an international assembly. So if you're a Rotarian, you can go and you can watch the same things that the incoming district governors come. It's fun. You get to learn what the theme is for the next year and things like that. So the other thing you can do in Rotary is you can do the Rose Bowl Parade. So once a year, first day of January, unless it's on a Sunday, they have the Rose Bowl Parade, and Rotary actually builds a float and the president rides on the float. And if you want to, this is the year that I rode, which was last year. Gordon was this year. And that was the parade. So Jennifer and Nick, our president that year, was on there. I'm the guy who looks like the Monopoly guy in the back. The Monopoly man. But it was a lot of fun because we got to, Mike and Deborah and Lloyd were there, and we got to decorate the float. So we got to actually put flowers in the float. And, that didn't cost any money whatsoever. So you can do that. Just Rotary has so many great things that you can do. And we have to tell people about it. And we heard about how Brent went to the Singapore convention. Anne was kind enough to tell us about that. But they had breakout sessions and all different. I just loved going to my club meeting the first Tuesday in July because Bokar, our president, had just been to Singapore. And he had been to a breakout convention about the action plan. And he redid his whole plans for the year based on the Rotary's action plan. And my whole club stayed after the meeting for 30 minutes because they wanted to talk about planning for what's coming up in the year ahead. So it's amazing the kind of energy that you can get. You know, we only have about 1% of our folks that come to an international convention, but I tell you, they get fired up. It's like hosting a youth exchange student. You get so fired up, you just want to share Rotary with other people. So if someone's not, and the past district governors realize that it's more than just Northfield being a great club. If there's someone not happy in a club, let them know what's going on in Rotary so that we don't lose them. And if they want to do Rotary in a different way, like Lloyd said, we could form a new club. If you ever need any help, Stephanie and I are here throughout this year and beyond to help. So just call me if you need me and I'll do whatever I can for you. Thank you.